Dick Hanna Dealerships presents the Postgame Scoreboard Show on the Fan Sports Network. Dick Hanna, believe in nice.
5 receivers for Dante, 3 left, 2 to the right, and they'll run the play to throw. Want the fade right, going for Benson, turns, makes the grab, was he out of bounds? They're going to call it a catch! He caught it!
A comprehensive recap of today's game with the players and coaches you want to hear from.
Touchdown, Oregon!
And our game day crew of Andy Johnson, Dusty Hara, and former Duck star Anthony Newman joining the show. Oregon Ducks football on the Fan is brought to you by Coors Light, Dick Hanna Dealerships, Philbrook Law, Video Only, Bellagio's Pizza, Langdon Farms Golf Club, Wilsonville Toyota, Mountaintop Metal Roofing, Victor Rico's Mexican Food, Legends Casino Hotel, Mods PDX, and Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. The Dick Hanna Dealerships Post-Game Scoreboard Show on 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app starts now. Here's your hosts, Joe Fisher and Jordan Schultz.
Defense wins Orange Bowls. What a win for the Oregon Ducks as they will advance to the semifinals, beating Texas Tech 23-0 down in Miami. Dane Lanning's second college football playoff victory, and the Ducks shutting out Texas Tech. Welcome into the Dick Hanna Dealership post-game scoreboard show. I am Joe Fisher III, and Jordan Schultz with me as well.
Go Ducks, baby. Can I get some excitement in right now? Holy yes, man.
We got a few people hanging on right now, still here. This place was packed earlier. There's a couple of people getting some victory beverages here as the Rose Bowl is about to kick off. Just kicked off as I speak. But we're here to talk about the Orange Bowl and the Ducks getting the 23-0 victory. Jordan, I feel like I've said this multiple times, broken record at this point.
Yeah.
That this team will go as far as this defense takes them. And I think it's fair to say this is the best defensive performance you've seen out of Dan Lanning, Tosh Lapoy since they had been here and joined this staff in 2022. Just an absolute dominant defense performance. Offense definitely shaky, but that's a very good Texas Tech defense. But again, with all the hype that went into this game about this Texas Tech defense, the Oregon defense won the day.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you have Jacob Rodriguez, an absolute freak, leading their front seven. That's all we talked about. I think Dan Lanning got a little upset about how often we were talking about the front four and how good. I mean, hey, 2.8 yards per play. That's what Texas Tech's defense gives up. It's almost unmatched in the country, and it is worth speaking about. But yeah, on the other end of things, I'm actually going to be the optimist today, Joe. Oregon's offense, to me, looked it's a
new year. It's a new Jordan Schultz.
Exactly. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2026, and happy Ducks win in the Orange Bowl, going to the freaking Peach Bowl. And I saw a lot of good things. For the people that want to bag on the mistake that Dante Moore made, like not seeing Kenyon Sadiq down the field or throwing the one pick that he did, like, guess what? He looked like the top pick in the NFL draft at other times today. Like, Oregon fans, enjoy him for the next hopefully two games, because that is all we're going to get. I'm calling it now. He will be the number one pick in the NFL draft. He just looked so poised today. But really, as you talk about, Joe, the Oregon defense was the story of the game. We can get to the offense, but we got to start off with the defense. And you say that it felt like or looked like the best performance ever for Oregon under Tosh Lupoy. It was the best performance by the numbers ever for Oregon as a program. They finished off its first shutout of an AP-ranked opponent since 2012. They were playing a top 10 defense overall in their program history for 113th time now, Joe. And for the first time, the Ducks shut them out completely. That right there shows you that that peak that we've hoped that Oregon could get to, that level that we've wanted Oregon to see, jump to as a program to get with the elite blue bloods in college football. I think today's shutout of Texas Tech proved we're here, baby.
Well, and when I look at this time of year, college football playoffs, NFL playoffs, I look at what defense is playing like a championship defense.
Yeah.
And what you saw today was a championship-esque defense. If you would have told me they were going to go in this game and shut out the Texas Tech offense, which going into this game, we talked about Texas Tech's offense not being the fear in this game. It was their defense. And again, all hats off, all Cowboys hats off to the Texas Tech defense, because you saw it in that first half. I think they had 6 tackles for loss in the first half. It dipped off a little bit in the second half.
Contained Oregon's run really well.
100%. But really, I mean, the story of this game is that defense forcing turnovers, just holding them at the line of the scrimmage, making Baron Morton look completely inept out there. He is a solid quarterback. He finished 27th in the country in QBR this year. He is not a bottom feeder quarterback. It's not like they're there in spite of him. Like, they are there. They have a good offense. They kept showing up their offensive numbers towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Because what Oregon was doing to them was unprecedented. They were top 10 in yards, top 10 in points per game in the country. And so Oregon made them pedestrian. If you take out the 150-yard play that they had, which almost was a tackle for loss.
It was.
Bryce was right there. Bryce Betcher almost made the tackle. That they had 165 yards on the day outside of that one play.
Yeah. There was really no answer for Oregon's defense from Texas Tech, and it's really encouraging, frankly, at this point of the season to see the defense playing the best ball that they have all year. We're talking about them as a program, but let's really, talk about where we thought Oregon was going to be at the beginning of the year to now. And Brandon Finney, oh my goodness, 2 picks. The freshman, he is a
fumble
freshman,
recovery.
by the way. The fumble recovery, it was all Brandon Finney. And then you also talk about Bryce Betcher, Dylan Thieneman. They combined for, 24, 25 tackles. The physicality of Oregon's defense today, Joe, we got to talk about that. Like, it was obviously a, ground and pound kind of punch you in the throat kind of game, and it really felt like early on that the first team to make a mistake was going to be the one to lose. And I think that the mistakes that Texas Tech made were obviously, the great schemes by Will Stein and Tosh Lupoi, but Oregon's physicality on the defensive end had a huge part in that today, Joe.
Well, and we were talking about it after the James Madison game, like, it's this catch-22 as a coach, because you're like, would I have liked my team to give up 34 points, 509 yards to James Madison? Absolutely not. Do I now have something to motivate this team and get this defense pissed off to be playing Texas Tech in a week and a half? Absolutely. That's bulletin board material that we have created for ourselves.
Damn right.
And I think that I was saying it the other day, filling in on Dirt and Sprague, that this defense wanted to come in and prove something. I think there was a lot of people that, regardless of how the end of that James Madison game went, having 8 players on defense have a career high in snaps in the James Madison game, a lot of second, third stringers. I think that the defense, they wanted to hang their hat in this game and say that no, it's our defense that needs to be recognized. Texas Tech, you've had a great year. You've blown out opponents. You caused a lot of turnovers. You got a great front seven. And again, they proved it today. But Oregon's defense is the story of the day. Just to look at some of the stats, again, 215 total yards for Texas Tech compared to the 309 that Oregon put up. We will get into the offense. We're going to have Dusty Harrow. We're going to get Anthony Newman in here. But after a game like this, 23-0, the second shutout in the Dan Lanning era, the only other one against Purdue last year, 35-0. You shut out the number 4 team in the country.
Yeah, Purdue's not nearly as good of an opponent.
What was the stat that you had that you read off earlier? The first shutout against an AP opponent?
Since 2012, and the 113th time overall playing a top 10 defensive team, Oregon shut them out for the first time in program history.
That's wild.
They are here. And frankly, credit to Tosh Lupoi. Like, this is a cheesy point to make, but it's got to be made. Credit to Will Stein, and credit specifically to Tosh Lupoi, who are both gone to Kentucky and Cal at the end of this season for Oregon. They are still in this. They want to win for Oregon. They have that Oregon pride, and it is a little weird, like, after the introduction, seeing, them wearing Cal and Kentucky gear back in Oregon gear, but damn it, they're wearing it with pride, and it is so fun to see.
Yeah. No, I think it was just an absolute great game all around for the Oregon Ducks. Offensively, a lot to be worked on, a lot of things they put on film to that they'll be able to nitpick a little bit, and they'll find out who they're going to play. I'm sure they're already watching this Indiana-Alabama game in the locker room.
Oh, they have
got it
to
on
be.
Their phones. I mean, you got some staffers that are already breaking down this game. I mean, granted, you already have film on Indiana. Maybe you'll pick up on Alabama during this one. But the fact that you can kick your feet up for the rest of the day, knowing you took care of business, and you can now watch these teams stress out, just like we did for the last 3.5 hours. I mean, just a perfect way to start 2026 and a far cry from how we started 2025.
Well, and how good is it in a vacuum coming off of the James Madison game where they gave up way too many points on defense, Joe? You talk about the response to what Dan Lanning said about, hey, we've got things to fix. There are things that we could do better. We're not satisfied. And really at that point, it's up to the players. You know, the coaches can say all they want and get them as motivated as they can, but the players decided that they wanted it today. And I mean, credit to the staff for keeping them focused through the new year. I don't know. I'm going to ask Dusty, like, what the coaching staff, you know, is like compared to last year versus Ohio State, because you could tell there was a different feel. And I do think that went down to the players. It really always comes down from the top. But when you talk about going from 35 points given up to a pretty crappy team, in my opinion, that you shouldn't have given that many points up to now a shutout to one of the best teams. Say it one more time, Oregon is here, baby, and I think they showed with that defense today they can beat anyone in the country.
Yeah, just an impressive outing on the defensive end. Let's take a quick break. We will get Anthony Newman on here, former Oregon Duck, NFL pro, to give his thoughts on this game. You know he's got to just be absolutely stoked just based off the defensive performance.
I cannot wait to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, when you get a game like this and a defensive output like you got from the Ducks today, and you get to talk to Anthony Newman, I'm like, yes, this is exactly who I want to talk to next.
New West Lynn head football coach.
That's right,
Anthony Newman.
head coach Anthony Newman. So we will do that next here on the Dick Cannon Dealership post-game scoreboard show. We're down here at Grand Central Bowl Arcade Sports Bar, and if you want to come in and have a victory beverage, you very much can do so. They still got the doors open. There's still a couple Duck fans hanging around watching this Rose Bowl game, Southeast 8th and Morrison. Come hang out, say what's up. We've already been offered a drink where I think I'm going to go to this gentleman and take him up on that offer, definitely. But first, let's take a quick commercial break. Send it over to Brandon for, I guess, a weather update, not an air traffic update as people will be flying back to Portland. But kick it over to Brandon with a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. Forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with a 40% chance of rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand that
for the first down. What a grab, but what a throw by Dante, and what a gamble by Oregon.
What a gamble would have been the first thing I would have said there before the throw and the catch. That's a big-time play in a big-time part of the game.
Dick Cannon Dealerships presents the post-game scoreboard show on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
Welcome back into the Dick Hanna Dealership post-game scoreboard show. Joe Fisher, Jordan Schultz down here at Grand Central Bowl
Hi there.
Arcade Sports Bar.
Go Ducks, baby.
That is right. Gosh, man, these games, they make me a nervous wreck, though. Like,
It's tough.
and it's not great when you got Patrick Harris, who is a Coug fan here. And it's
Just
like,
riling you up.
well, it's like 13 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and he's like, man, the semifinals, that will look pretty good. And I'm just like, stop, shut up. I do not want to hear anything else. And
He's trying to jinx it.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, do not. I was like, there's so much game left. I do not want to hear any of it. You got to a certain point, though, after that Blake Purchase sack at the end of the game there, which, my God.
Yeah, that kind of put an exclamation point on everything. I think I was...
That's where I started to breathe a bit easier there.
Kind of nervous until that point. But the Ducks defense, I mean, you talk about like the poise that everybody had on the field today, and the Ducks defense specifically showed, as we talked about, recovering from that really bad performance. And yeah, there were starters out there against James Madison a couple of weeks ago, so it wasn't just the backups. Definitely a little frustrating to see that in a college football playoff game. But now what was Oregon's kryptonite, the semifinals, became a strong point for their defense, and that was part of because of the poise of guys like Blake Purchase, Bryce Betcher, the leaders, you know, transferring from Purdue, but still a veteran in college football, Dylan Thieneman, just coming in and absolutely setting the tone for them today. It was a fun one to watch, and it was one of those defensive performances that it I don't want to say defines a program, but it makes you look
Just makes
closer than you have before at a team.
And I think that it's just like one of those performances that it makes you proud of the team, the unit overall, the defensive unit. Obviously I'm not going to be like, you know what, I'm good at this point. Orange Bowl victory if we don't get anything else. But it made one of those that it's just like, man, anything after this is gravy. Obviously want to win the Peach Bowl, go to the national championship, win that. But to just get this statement victory, my dad, just to look into it, he got me a sweatshirt for Christmas that was like a 25-26 playoffs Oregon Ducks sweatshirt. And I'm like, I can wear this sweatshirt a little bit more proudly now because they got this win. If you get a win against James Madison and then lose this, that sweatshirt might stay in the closet a little bit more. But since you got this one, I can rock this one a little bit more. First Orange Bowl victory for the Oregon Ducks. Gonna read some of the YouTube chat text as well. You can text in to the program, 503-864-6326. YouTube chat is active, though. We are working to get Anthony Newman right now as we speak.
Feverishly texting.
Yes, we are working with Brandon back in the studio to get him on the line. We will get him here as soon as we can. But someone on the YouTube chat did not expect a shutout by no means. This was a complete dominant performance by the defense. If we can get the offense up next game and play the same way on defense, then we can get it. I'm here. Someone just sent 5 brick wall emojis. I think that's appropriate for.
I think that defines the defense for Oregon today. That's pretty good. It was a lot of studs today and a lot of hard hitting. That was a lot of pads popping. That was, like we said in the first segment, a very ground and pound type of game and a knock you in the throat type of performance, really by both defenses. Let's be honest. Texas Tech, especially coming out in the first half, that was the fastest defense that Oregon has seen all year, and they were able to get beyond that and really make some great throws. Dante Moore with the deep passes without having the pass established by the run, was frankly something that was impressive that Dante Moore and Will Stein were able to cook up today. But honestly, man, it just the speed at which Oregon played, it was something that I don't think I remember ever seeing. Like when we talk about that shutout against Purdue last year, Oregon's defense did not look like this. And frankly, I don't think they had as many studs on their defense last year as they do this year. There were some guys I was talking to, sales guy Kurt here, before the show started out here at Grand Central, and I was telling him, like, Oregon's roster is so deep. There were some guys in the transfer portal, like Kingston Lopa this year, that actually got time. Like, I believe Kingston Lopa had a turnover or a recovered fumble at one point this season. Like, these are guys that have had snaps and that have been in on the action, but Oregon is just so deep and has other guys that are playing more that they have to leave. And Dan Lanning has filled this cupboard up so much that we're seeing the results of these spoils, and it's just a special time, man. I really do. Like I said, I am an optimist right now, Joe, and I do feel like Oregon's defense can beat anybody in the country after today's game.
It's a national championship-esque defense that we saw today. Another message here on the YouTube chat. Just crazy that the first-round buys do not help anyone. Teams so far are 0-6 now. Insane to think about. See if Indiana can break it. But, yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, again, another first-round buy team goes down. And Oregon is a beneficiary of that, as Texas Tech, I mean, again, their defense looked really good, but as far as offense goes, Baron Morton, that rushing attack outside of one play, I mean, it was just a dominant victory overall. Someone saying Anthony should be pumped. I'm sure he is frothing and foaming to get on this phone line right now to be able to share his thoughts about this game. Ducks winning a shutout in their first trip to Miami. I can't read the rest of this comment as far as what Dusty might be partaking in. Hopefully that Dusty is he's professional. Dusty's a professional, all right. I know he's in Miami. Miami's known for some things down there. You know, I think he's going to be on his P's and Q's, and he's going to come back completely sober. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
They don't have much time. It's not like a 2-week gap like it was, and Christmas happening between James Madison and going to play Texas Tech. They've got 8 days essentially. So no, they got to get focused pretty quickly.
Yeah. Hopefully the playoffs folks will realize every week games are better for all teams. Yeah. I mean, obviously we'll see as they talk about the possible new playoff format next year, going to a possible 16 team. And so that way everybody plays every single week. Again, we'll see what happens with this Indiana-Alabama game. And then tonight with Ole Miss and Georgia. If they're able to break the streak. I know my buddy Tanner, he's got a parlay on all the teams that played in the first round.
Oh,
and right now he's 2 for 2. He's 2 for 2 right now.
What is it now? 0-6 of teams with a bye in the first round of the college football playoffs after the first 2 seasons, at least so far, of this 12-team version.
Yeah, we got Anthony Newman.
Yeah,
Anthony, can you hear us, my friend?
I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you very well.
Go Ducks.
I'm glad we got this figured out, worked out. Some production on the air. We were texting Brandon feverishly because we said as we broke and went to a commercial break, I was like, if there's anybody I want to talk to after a defensive performance like that, it is Anthony Newman. How are you doing right now?
Oh, man, I'm so excited. You know, all these people out there kept doubting the Ducks and talking about how good the defense is for Texas Tech and all that stuff. You know, don't shut the front door. Just shut the front door. Just don't talk to me. You know, if you jumped off the bandwagon, stay off. Don't come back on right now, because this football team is really good. I'm telling you that right now. They're very good.
I appreciate you, Anthony, man. This is the excitement that we were expecting. So, Anthony, let's talk about the turnovers today. I think that was a big part of the reason that Oregon won on defense. Talk about how they swing a game psychologically. The 3 by Brandon Finney, 2 picks and a fumble recovery, as opposed to not being able to get to the end zone, because they did. You know, Texas Tech almost cashed it in, but is the 0 on the scoreboard a bigger psychological hit for Texas Tech, or was it just the turnovers all day? They kind of kept their offense just not really confident.
Well, I think the turnovers caused the 0 on the board. Here's the deal. You know, Texas Tech, they're used to taking the ball away. That's what they do, and give it to their offense, and their offense will have explosion plays. Well, the script was flipped. Oregon had all the takeaways and had big plays with the takeaways, and then the offense had some explosion plays. Not a whole lot, but just enough to hurt, again, a very tough Texas Tech defense. Give them credit. Them dudes can play. I mean, They fly around, make plays. But they were against a very good offense that kept getting opportunities because the defense for Oregon was taking the ball away from their offense.
Yeah, and you, Jordan had just mentioned Brandon Finney there. There are so many guys that you can highlight on the defense today. What did you just see as a unit overall that they were able to shut this team out? Second shutout in the Dan Lanning era. I mean, we read a YouTube comment here recently, and it was like, I'd be lying if I said I would have expected a shutout. And for them to do this, I mean, what did you see out there schematically that was able to keep this offense just so pedestrian?
Well, they played as a defensive unit. So what was taking place was the front line, the defensive linemen, they were getting to the quarterback, and they were also, creating havoc in the running game for Texas Tech, okay? The linebackers were making tackles. They were running sideline to sideline, making plays, and then they were dropping back in coverage. And there was a lot of times when it was a coverage sack because the quarterback, Morton, had to scramble. He had time, but there was no one open down the field because the linebackers were dropping back in coverage. And then the secondary, not only, getting turnovers, but tackling. I mean, talk about coming up, making tackles. There was no yak yards. That's huge. When you play against a good football team and you got athletes and you got to tackle in space, you got to stop the yak yards, yards after contact, yards after catch, all that kind of stuff. That didn't happen today. Oregon played just the front level, the mid-level, and the back end. On defense, they played outstanding. I had chills all day, and I couldn't stop walking around. I felt like I was playing. I'm telling you that right now. I felt like that was so exciting. And again, no one likes those kind of scores. Oh, that was a boring game. BS. Shut the front door. BS. That was a hell of a game.
Brandon, get the dump button ready just in case
Yeah, no kidding.
doesn't say front next time. Yeah.
That's funny. Anthony, kind of two-part question here, but in big game environments like this, what separates a good defense from a great one when stakes are so high? Obviously, in the college football playoff semifinals compared to last year, different standing. Oregon now coming off of a win in the first round, but still questions about how they're going to perform, and they show up. And then second, I've been saying this for the first segment and a half or so, does this win make you think that Oregon's defense can beat anyone in the country?
Oh, without a doubt. I'll tell you that right now. Because Oregon's defense did what everything a defense needs to do to keep an offense, and a good offense or bad offense, it doesn't matter, intact. You have to be disciplined, okay? You have to not allow explosion plays, and you have to get takeaways. And then let's go one more. You have to tackle well, tackle in space. Oregon did all those things great today. I mean, there are some plays that, those guys made on offense. Yeah, they're going to make some plays because they play football as well. They get coached. They can play. They can run. They can do all those things. But still, Oregon didn't give up the bomb, didn't give up the broken coverage. When you got in the red zone, you took the ball away. When you got in the red zone, you didn't allow them any points at all, not even field goals. That's right there's the recipe of a great defense. And I'll take that defense, and we'll travel anywhere to play anybody.
Yeah, defense travels during this time of year, and I said in the first segment to Jordan, it's like when you get to this time of year in the playoffs, it's what defenses are playing like championship defenses to help complement the offense. Obviously, there will be a lot talked about during this postgame show, the week leading up to next week, about the offense and what it needs to do to clean up the game. But, I mean, when you have a defense like this, it like you said, I'll take it anywhere.
Well, you go back in the history, when you look at the Alabamas and the Georgia championship teams, they had a defense, man. I'm telling you right now, they had a defense. And the offense was good. The offense can score points, and they were explosive. But you had a defense that was rock solid. So the offense that was going against a very good defense, they had to work for everything they were trying to get on the field. It's third and long. It's, on first down, all of a sudden you're trying to win on second down. All those things that you have to battle for 4 quarters against a good defense and protect the football. That's hard to do for 4 quarters. And when your defense is blowing people up like they are, it's a long day.
Well, it's another impressive performance for this defense. It's funny, like they held Texas Tech to 215 total yards, and I was trying to look. I'm like, oh, was that the lowest amount of yards that they gave up this year? Oh no, they gave up 202 to Rutgers. They gave up 167 to Oregon State. They gave up 211 to Oklahoma State. Like, this has just been who they are this year. So I'm sure, like I said, if anybody's as happy about this performance, I know it's you, man. We could talk to you all day about what we just witnessed, the Ducks dominating in the Orange Bowl. But the great thing is we get to talk to you again.
Heck yeah.
Yes, that's right. Right. And today you get to kick your feet up as a Duck fan. You get to kick your feet up on the couch, sit back, have your little drink, and enjoy the game.
Yeah,
right?
You can watch 4 other fan bases stress out for their 3.5 hours. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly right. I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy Duck fan today. That's for sure.
Well, enjoy whatever you got poured in your glass, whether that's Tullamore Dew or something else. But like I said, man, we get to talk to you one more week next Friday in the post game where they will be in the Peach Bowl against either Indiana or Alabama. That Rose Bowl game going on right now. Yeah, man, just looking forward to who we. It's a little bit of a redemption factor either way. They either take on Indiana or Kalen DeBoer next. Kalen DeBoer, excuse me.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I want Indiana, because I want to play them again.
Yeah.
But then I want to go against Alabama. I want that the Alabamas of every of the decades. No, I want to go take care of Alabama. But it doesn't matter whoever wins. Let's get after them. Doesn't matter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anthony, appreciate you as always. We will catch up with you next week after the Peach Bowl as the Oregon Ducks advance after their 23-0 victory. Appreciate you, man. You guys were great on the preview show yesterday. You, Suk, and Andy, a couple Oregon football or Pacific Northwest High School football legends. As Dirk said,
that was a blast. That was a blast.
It was great.
That was my. I haven't done that in a long time. Talk football for 3 hours? Wow.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yes. Yeah. Most definitely. Anthony, appreciate you as always, my man.
Okay. Hey, take care, guys.
That was Anthony Newman,
Thanks, Q.
former Oregon Duck, NFL pro. I mean, appreciate him as always, and I'm glad that we got him on because you heard it in his voice. Again, if he had to say shut the front door one more time, I swear I think we would have had a cursing violation there on the broadcast. He was that excited.
Oh, fudge! But I didn't say fudge. I said the word. God.
Well, let's take a quick break and let's go to Dusty Hara. He is the sideline reporter for the Oregon Ducks, obviously the fan brand manager. And get his thoughts, get his field view perspective of the Oregon Ducks victory 23-0 over Texas Tech. We will do that next year on the Dick Hayden Dealership postgame scoreboard show. Kick it over to Brandon for a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks post-game forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow and a 40% chance of rain. The Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
Ah, the Internet, a place where your curiosity can flourish. Unless online threats
He didn't get rid of the football. I'm shocked that Morton didn't throw that football away. Tuioti got him with a sack.
Dick Hanna Dealerships presents the Postgame Scoreboard Show on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
We're back here at Grand Central Bowl Arcade Sports Bar, Southeast 8th and Morrison, enjoying some victory beverages. We got a listener here, Todd, hooking us up.
Appreciate you, Todd.
Yes, appreciate everybody joining us on the text line, 503-864-6326. On the YouTube chat, we will get to all your thoughts. Keep them coming. Definitely will get to your thoughts on this, the listeners out there. But first, let's get to the perspective of the man that was field level down live from Miami, Dusty Hara, sideline reporter for the Oregon Ducks. Dusty, man, I don't even know where to start, what to ask you, man, just because that defensive performance, I'm at a loss for words. I did not expect them to shut down that Texas Tech offense like they did. What was it like being field view just to see that happen yourself?
I mean, it was incredible, and I don't think anybody anticipated what we saw because shutting out any opponent is a very difficult thing. I mean, last year at Purdue, and we all remember how bad Purdue was, that was the first shutout on the road in 40 years for Oregon football. To put that into perspective, and this is in a college football playoff game all the way in Miami,
9 a.m.
Number 4 ranked team in the country and a big noon kick, right?
Yeah.
The way that they executed defensively, it was a masterpiece. I mean, everybody knew when Dan Lanning was hired that there would be a focus on the defensive side of the football. We saw this defense improve, and we saw it, whether it was Brandon Finney, the young buck in the secondary, grow over the course of the year, or kind of the pieces come together with all the transfer additions. We saw positive strides, but today was kind of that culmination of smash-mouth football and a ton of speed, and I think that was the thing that popped the most. The speed by both of these defenses was incredible, and it was on display.
Dusty, how early did you sense that Texas Tech was feeling uncomfortable on the defensive end, or on the offensive end, because of the Ducks defense just being so dominant today? Was there a moment when the Ducks defense really broke them, like that strip sack by Uiagalelei, or was there kind of a moment maybe leading up to that you saw Texas Tech just start to falter?
Them feeling uncomfortable with the Oregon defense, it was probably the second drive, right, where they had 2 drives, only ran 6 plays, and they were off the field. And at that point, it was like there's a little bit of frustration, and you could see that everything that they'd had success with, it wasn't popping the same way. And Oregon's game plan was very sound, and the players executed it really well. But I think that, as it became more and more apparent that the running game was going to be the main priority to take away and that they were going to have to push the ball down the field to beat Oregon, that's when it kind of you started to see them really get uneasy and really get uncomfortable. And look, Oregon timed it up perfectly to start adding extra pressure to pin their ears back a little bit more and turn that corner. And we saw them get home. And I know I've seen it all, all the fans getting frustrated with the lack of sacks, but man, you had multiple guys getting home and really the speed on the edges. You have Mateo with his strip sack. Tatum Tuioti has 2. Blake Purchase gets 1. I mean, those guys on the edges, they lived up to all the hype that they had been built up to be in the preseason. Today, when it mattered the most, they showed up and played an incredible football game.
They sure did. Just to flip to the other side of the ball, to Oregon's offense, do you chalk we watched the game. We saw there were mistakes on Oregon's end that might have made this a bit more of an even more comfortable win. Instead of maybe 23-0, would have been 31-0. But as far as what you saw out there, field level, schematically, was it Texas Tech just making them uncomfortable that led to the mistakes, or just Oregon doing it themselves? Obviously, you saw the snap by Poncho. That's not Texas Tech's defense that's causing that, or even the exchange between Dante Moore and the running back. But was it Texas Tech really causing that many fits out there, or was it just Oregon's game plan today on offense? It was just tough to execute because of this defense.
Yeah, I think as we were talking about all the guys that made a huge impact for Oregon's defense, you look at David Bailey, the Stanford transfer, he was out of his mind. He is a really good football player. Romello Height, and those two guys have speed and power on the edges. But Ben Roberts and Jacob Rodriguez, those guys are two guys with such incredible football instincts and speed that they make up for, and they just rallied at the football really well. And that made it hard. And the thing about the Poncho snaps, I really do think that number 2 was it Lee Williams. He was a menace on the interior of the defense, or in the interior offensive line for Oregon. He was a force to be reckoned with, and that guy was all over the place. And I think that those kind of maybe do affect the snaps. We haven't seen that from Poncho really ever. He's been consistent and he's been good, but when bad snaps happen, it's because you're not snapping the ball first. You're trying to get to, all right, I need to cover the A gap because 2's going to be slanting that way. And maybe that did play a factor in it, but I really do think it had more to do with Texas Tech's defense. And then, look, there's a lot of self-inflicted wounds, too. I mean, whether it was, missed blocks and assignments, or it was, forcing the ball into some places where I thought Dante Moore played an incredible game, but there were a couple of throws, and every quarterback has those, right? He ended up being the offensive player of the game. I think he had a pretty good one. But I think there were a lot of self-inflicted wounds, whether it was snaps, penalties, or just unopportune plays made by Texas Tech that put them behind the sticks. And that really is where those drives got killed. Oregon moved the ball really well. It was you get to a 2nd and 6, and then you have a loss of 10 and because of bad snap or a holding penalty. Those are the things that really put the offense in a bind.
Yeah, definitely frustrating when they set themselves up for at least a field goal, and then they pushed themselves back with a sack and basically had to punt at that point. A couple of those mistakes, a couple of botched snaps, bad decisions, a time or two by Dante Moore. Outside of that, though, Dusty, he looked like every bit of the number 1 pick in the NFL draft that people are describing him as. And as the sideline reporter, you obviously have the best view of things. I thought Dante Moore looked poised today. He looked like he was carrying himself well, but how did you see him carrying himself on the sidelines? Was he just the calm manager? Was he setting the tone? Just even when he screwed up, he looked okay. He looked like nothing really rattled him.
I think that what he ended up doing is he played with incredible poise, and I think he was setting the tone by running behind the pads too, like lowering his shoulders, something that we were all like, "Ooh, I don't know if you want to do that." Especially
no kidding,
right? But he was a little bit more animated, but I think there were a couple of plays that were just NFL type plays, and you saw pressure makes a quarterback change dramatically, and you saw that with Morton for Texas Tech. But Dante was sliding up in the pocket. He was standing in there. He wasn't failing too quickly. Were a couple of missed opportunities and missed throws? Absolutely. Yeah, like that. Those things happen. I thought the way he handled the pressure was not all that different than what he was getting against Indiana, right? And we heard Dante Moore say that he kind of got in his head a little bit, his own head, during that Indiana game. You saw, and he said I made a conscious effort to adjust my mindset and the way I approach. You saw that on display because he ended up, when the pressure was relentless, he stayed poised. He was sliding up in the pocket. It kind of felt like that was like, all right, NFL scouts are going to be watching this game, right? And everybody knows that it's college football playoffs because that defense is so good and that front seven is so good. It was an elite performance by him in that regard with all the eyes focused on him. I was so impressed with the way Dante Moore played.
Well, they live to fight another day. They will be in the Peach Bowl next Friday, 4:30, going up against either Indiana or Alabama, who are playing the Rose Bowl as we speak, Dusty. Alabama tried to go for it on 4th and 1 on their own 39, maybe 40-yard line, something like that. And Indiana in business, 3-0. They have the lead right now. Who would you rather see the Ducks play? Do you want that? There's kind of a revenge factor for both of these teams because you get to either play Indiana again or you get to face Kalen DeBoer. But as far as who you think this Ducks team matches up best against, who would you prefer to see out of these two?
Well, I mean, I don't think it really matters who you play because whoever you're playing is one of the 4 best teams of college football, right? And
yeah.
It's going to be a tough test no matter what. I don't know if you want to play Alabama in Atlanta, right? They call it
point.
Tuscaloosa East for a reason. And that place would be all Bama fans. It would be a road game through and through. So I think maybe Indiana, and I think there is a lot of, the best shot that Oregon could have given wasn't there. And so getting that extra opportunity, I'd like to see that one again. But there's no bad answers to this. It's one of the four final four teams in all of college football. So no matter who it is, it's going to be a fun one in Atlanta.
So, Dusty, what do you think about today's performance on defense for Oregon is going to translate? Because I've been saying it the entire show. I think that after today's performance, Oregon's defense can match up against any offense in the country, hands down. I mean, their best player is a freshman cornerback, for goodness sakes, and I am just very confident after watching them today. Do you think, I guess maybe I shouldn't say unbeatable, Dusty, but do you think they are now up at the top echelon as far as defense goes against anybody in college football?
Yeah, I think we've seen that throughout the course of the season anyways from this defense. It was kind of putting all of those pieces together at the same time and at the right time. And that is super important. And also, we can't ignore the fact that the rust factor of all of these teams that have the bye, that played a role in this game for Texas Tech. Their defense came out hair on fire, but when you look at their offense, it looked like a team that hadn't played in a month. And we've seen that 6 times in the college football playoff with these teams at the bye. So I am kind of, nothing's really changed in my mind on this defense. I think that putting that together is, at this time of the season is the best time and the most important time to do it. So that is like the biggest optimistic point that you can take out of it, is that all of the growth that we've seen is really culminating at the same time and at the right time.
Well, first round bye teams 0-6, maybe 7 times the charge, because again, as we speak, Indiana, they strike on a 21-yard touchdown pass. They are now up 10-0 on Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
Signetti would. He would be the guy to buck all that.
He'd be the one.
Trend,
Yeah, he would. Yeah. Well, Dusty, I know you got a flight to catch back home, or I don't know, man. I think you push your chips in the middle of the table and you just stay down in the South for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, head up to Atlanta.
No, it's going to be a boomerang back home and then right back to the South and going to Atlanta, which is at least I guess an hour shorter flight. I don't know, but there's going to be a lot of travel coming. And I think that's also another thing, is that Oregon's ability to play on the road, they're just as good. They might be better on the road this year than the way they played at home. It's crazy to think about how just dialed in they've been in these road games or neutral site games.
Yeah, they've been road warriors for sure. Well,
That's
Dusty,
right.
we'll let you go. We'll let you get on the team bus if you aren't already, to get back to the airport, to get back to this Miami-esque weather that we're having back here up in Portland. Man, it's gorgeous. you wouldn't believe it. What's going on here right now?
I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all.
Well,
I had people here trying to tell me it's cold. And I was like, it is
in Miami?
67 degrees and sunny. Yeah.
Stop.
The people of Miami are calling this a cold spell. And it is the coldest weather that they've had in a month.
Oh, I have so much sympathy for them. My heart goes out to them.
That's shorts weather, baby. Come on.
That's
well,
right. That's right.
You'll be able to. Yep, you'll be able to enjoy the South. If we get to talk to you one more time, man, we will talk to you next week. Appreciate you as always.
All right, later, man.
Dusty Hara, sideline reporter for the Oregon Ducks, fan brand manager here at 105.1 and 1080 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Take a quick break, get a little weather update, but we are going to be getting right back at it. We got a whole nother hour for you guys here from 2 to 3. We're at Grand Central Bowl Arcade Sports Bar. We're enjoying some victory beverages here with a few of the listeners, a few of the people hanging out here. Watching this Rose Bowl game, as again Indiana takes the 10-0 lead in the second quarter here at the Rose Bowl. The winner of this game will face Oregon in the Peach Bowl. It's the Dick Hannon Dealership post-game scoreboard show. Take a quick break, get a weather update from Brandon, and be right back.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks post-game forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with a 40% chance of rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
Dick Hanna Dealerships presents the Postgame Scoreboard Show on the Fan Sports Network. Dick Hanna, believe in nice.
First down, Oregon at the 6. Davison beside Dante. Snap. Pitch to Davison going right with some blocks. Inside. Touchdown, Oregon. Davison with some blocks. Had a big hole. Ducks with the first touchdown of the ball game.
Time for the second half. Oregon Ducks football on the Fan is brought to you by Coors Light, Dick Hanna Dealerships, Philbrook Law, Video Only, Bellagio's Pizza, Langdon Farms Golf Club, Wilsonville Toyota, Mountaintop Metal Roofing, Victor Rico's Mexican Food, Legends Casino Hotel, Mods PDX, and Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. The Dick Hanna Dealerships post-game scoreboard show on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app. Drives on. Here's your hosts, Joe Fisher and Jordan Schultz.
We're back. Dick Hanna Dealership postgame scoreboard show. One more hour left to go here at Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar. Keep listening to the Fan all week because we will get all the details clarified. But I think for the Peach Bowl next week, the listening or the watch party will be at Thirsty Lion.
Oh, yes.
I'm a big fan of the Caesar salad.
I love the Thirsty Lion.
Big fan. Listen, I got the breakfast burrito again here today, which just, I mean, hats off to the chef and the team here at Grand Central because that breakfast burrito, dangerous.
Just
dangerous.
Solid. All right.
But Thirsty Lion's got a special place in my heart. I used to live in the area, and I would take my son there, and we would go get some happy hour, some dinner.
Wife and I love their happy hour, absolutely.
So as far as I know, what I've been told is that Thirsty Lion will be the location for the watch party, pregame show, postgame show. Again, we're still working out all the details as far as what will be going down there, but that will be where you want to watch the Ducks game, the Peach Bowl, with your fellow Duck fans next Friday.
First ever Peach Bowl.
4:30, yeah, first ever Orange Bowl, dub, first ever Peach Bowl. Possible dub.
Let's get it all knocked out. I love this that Oregon's finally playing in these different bowl games. It's nice. I kind of got sick of the Rose Bowl.
It took me a week to figure out which teams were playing in what bowl games.
Yeah.
Because you just get fixated in on all the teams in the second round, and I'm like, wait, what are the actual bowl game? Who's playing in what? And it took me literally up until yesterday to finally be like, all right, I know who's playing in what bowl game now.
It's like, wait, is Texas Tech in the Cheez-It Bowl? No, they're playing Oregon, damn it.
Yeah,
like,
what is going on?
Cheez-It Bowl and Pop-Tart Bowl, by the way, not to get off too much track, but those were very entertaining,
Sun
I must
Bowl
say.
With the Frosted Flakes, the giant inflatable Frosted Flake Bowl that the players were jumping in, Duke, Arizona State, after touchdowns. I mean, the more bowl season, again, the games, they do not matter. At least until this point, when we get into the playoffs, you know.
No.
But, I mean, the more shenanigans you can throw into these ancillary bowl games that don't matter, the better for me.
Yeah,
All
people trying to like go viral on social media actually end up coming up with some really good ideas to entertain people at these bowl games and some wacky ways for the players to celebrate. Like, it's definitely different, and as we are questioning what bowl season is going to be in the future, at least this year, we have what we have, and we can celebrate and lean on the fact that I still saw a giant Pop-Tart go in a toaster.
Yes. Yes, and Kalani Sataki just absolutely gorged into one of those Pop-Tarts.
That was great.
It was.
Yes, Brandon agreed.
Let's get back into this game, though. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, Brandon, you got to feel good that we were able to get some redemption factor for the BYU Cougs.
Damn right.
In taking down Texas Tech.
Absolutely.
Yes, Oregon winning 23-0. As we mentioned, the defense is going to be the story of this game. Offense, there was a lot. I mean, Patrick Harris again was here watching the game with us, and I felt like a broken record with him with how many plays this defense have made.
Yeah,
I would then look at him. I'm like, now let's do something about it. Let's make it worth it. Let's get points. This game, and again, I say like, oh, this game it could have been an even bigger difference in this scoreboard. Right?
Yeah.
It could have been 31, 34, or whatever, but I think it was just Texas Tech's defense is a really good defense. There were mistakes. There was a high snap. There was a low snap. There was a fumbled handoff. There were moments where it's like, all right, you're 2nd and 10. Well, now you're 3rd and 14.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the things. Those are the just like small, silly, fundamental mistakes that could have put them in better position to make this an even bigger game. Again, they got the 23 points based off of a touchdown late. But, again, if your defense is playing this well, man, I guess your offense doesn't need to score many points.
It's true. I mean, there were many points where Oregon seemed like they were going to put their foot on the throat of Texas Tech, and it just didn't happen. Like with that, I talked to Dusty about when they were in field goal range, a sack brought them back, basically forced them around midfield to punt, and they had that kind of opportunity 2 or 3 different times and just kind of kept giving Texas Tech an opportunity, but they didn't want to take it. But one thing that Oregon's offense was super successful at today, Joe, we haven't really seen this from Oregon a lot this year as far as the time of possession separation, but Oregon's offense kept their drives alive and kept Oregon's defense rested. 38 minutes for Oregon to only 22 on offense for Texas Tech. That's a huge separation. You don't usually see that big of a separation unless one team's not doing so well at something, and that thing that Oregon was making Texas Tech do was get off the field. But not only that, even despite all those broken drives, they were long drives. They were resting the defense. And I think that helped them play their best game of the season today as well.
100%. Awesome performance by the Ducks defense, 23-0 victory over Texas Tech. We're going to take a quick break. We're gonna get to some of your thoughts. Again, the YouTube chat is active. The text line 503-864-6326 if you want to share your thoughts about this game. Ducks, Orange Bowl champions, moving on to the Final Four in the college football playoff. Take a quick break here on the Dick Hanna Dealerships Postgame Scoreboard Show. Get right back to it, but first, Brandon with a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks post-game forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with a 40% chance of rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it?
And it is all in his pick. It's intercepted. Brandon Finney Jr. stepped in front and the pick, and Finney has his second interception of the year. The freshman
Stepped right in front of Reggie Virgil, number 1. That ball tried to be thrown outside. It looked like Barrymore tried to throw it outside on an out pattern, and man, I'll tell you, it was read perfectly out there, perfectly for the interception.
Dick Hanna Dealerships presents the Post-Game Scoreboard Show on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
We're back here on the Dick Hanna Dealership Post-Game Scoreboard Show as the Ducks are Orange Bowl winners, 23-0. Get to some of your thoughts here that we're getting on the YouTube chat. Very active.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we got a lot of people chiming in today.
A lot of feelings about this game. You can text in 503-864-6326
in your
as well.
feels.
The fan text line. someone chiming in here, nervous because the run game was not working. I hear you. I think that was just a Texas Tech. What they did live up to was that defense. The defense was a great defense. They had a ton of tackles for loss. The offensive line. You want to talk about something that needs to get cleaned up. And if you would have told me that you were going to get this performance out of the Texas Tech defense, and quite frankly out of the Oregon Ducks offensive line, I would have not felt about the result in this game. But hopefully that if they play in Alabama, they play in Indiana, they're able to get some things right, shore some things up before then. Because the run game I think today finished with I believe it was just a total of 64 yards total
much.
on 47 carries. Not a very Ducks-esque running game attack today. But again, as we've been saying, the story of the day, when your defense is playing that well, offense just don't make mistakes like Texas Tech did, turning the ball over 4 times.
I mean, definitely credit to Oregon's offensive line for keeping them in the game. I think they did a better job of protecting Dante Moore than they did of allowing the run to flourish. And actually, credit to Dante Moore, it was very impressive that he was able to get the pass going without the run to establish it with. Like, there was no run, there was no guessing for Texas Tech. Dante Moore basically started off the game, Joe, by airing it out, and it worked. Will Stein had some good play calls. He had some bad play calls, so I really want to put the credit more here on the offensive line for protecting Dante Moore, but more so the poise that Dante Moore showed. He didn't have as much time today to throw the ball as he has earlier in the season at times, and he knew it. I mean, there were a couple of times in the first half where he had got about a second, and it was lights out right out of the pocket, and he was always aware where people were. Maybe despite, that one sack that wasn't Harkey's fault. Like, honestly, World and Harkey may have just gotten blown up by the edge rushers. Like, maybe I shouldn't even put those sacks on Dante Moore. He didn't see one of the guys, but, that's why they're blindside tackles, right? They're supposed to keep them off. But outside of that, Oregon's offense really managed the game, and that poise by Dante Moore is the reason why their offense was able to have any success at all today, Joe.
I'm a 68-year-old lifelong Duck. Had to go shower right along with the team after that game. I'm with you, man. The nerves that I have sometimes watching this team, and especially, again, at this point in the season, it's nerve-wracking. But I think you just kind of got to a point in this game that you felt comfortable that this Texas Tech offense was not going to be able to do anything.
After, I think it was the second pick by Finney in the end zone when he just took a knee, I was like, you know what? Wow, Texas Tech just isn't going to score today. I think my wife and I were about to leave, and I was just looking at the TV and said that out loud. And
you're like, all right, let's load up, baby.
It's like, we're good. Like, Texas Tech ain't scoring. And you really did. I think there was some concern. I think we talked about it until the Blake Purchase sack at the end of the game of Barron. But really, even before that, it looked like it was totally in hand in Oregon, but not until 3 minutes into the or at the end of the game with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter did we know for sure. But still, man, it was definitely up and down for a bit in that first quarter when you are used to Oregon scoring so much. You get in your feels a little bit. You get a little concerned.
Well, there are some great performances out there on the field today. I have a feeling of who might be the Mountaintop Metal Roofing player of the game.
I think you might be right.
Again, they're waiting on the tarmac. They will not send that bird into the sky and leave Miami until they hear who the Mountaintop Metal Roofing player of the game is. The whole team is waiting. Dusty's waiting. Dan, Tosh, Will, Jerry, Jordan, the whole crew, they're waiting to find out who the Mountaintop Metal Roofing player of the game is. So we'll find that out next. But first, let's kick it over to Brandon with a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks post-game forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with a 40% chance of rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
If you're considering new construction and want it done right and fast by a team
and Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app. Time now for the Mountaintop Metal Roofing Player of the Game.
One back behind him. It's Williams up a lead. He empties. Back to throw. Looking left. Throws it left. And it is intercepted in the end zone. Knee it down, Brandon Finney Jr., and give your team the football back.
Do it once. Do it right. Mountaintop Metal Roofing.
Time for the Mountaintop Metal Roofing Player of the Game. And my suspicions were correct. Brandon Finney, your player of the game after a 2-interception and 1 fumble recovery performance by him. Also, he added 6 total tackles, 4 of those being solo. Just an absolute amazing performance by the freshman. I mean, he's had a great year, but I love to see sort of this bounce back effort after the USC game where he picked up a few penalties. They were able to go deep on him. He did a little bit better against Washington. So to him, just kind of have this reminder game like, oh, yeah, I am that dude. Oh, yeah, I am just a true freshman. Amazing performance for Brandon Finney today.
We've been talking all day about how good Oregon's defense has looked, Joe. And, I mean, outside of Brandon Finney, you could just give this award to the entire defense. Yeah, exactly. But he was the standout for sure, the leader in takeaways today. And that second pick that we were just talking about, I mean, that was more of an easy read, just kind of kneeling into the end zone. He knew where it was going. But
well, and you could see, like, the Texas Tech player on the far outside.
Yeah.
And this is, like, just having those instincts where I'm like, I can forget about him and then start to like drift off to help out with deep coverage, because the Texas Tech receiver, he showed very early on, like, I ain't doing anything on this play.
Yeah.
Like he stepped out a couple moments, like, and just kind of like stood there.
Almost gave up.
Yeah, and like for Finney to be like, you are no concern of mine, I'm going to drift off. He had another player there that could cover that guy just in case.
Yeah.
Drift off into the end zone to get that pick in the end zone, the touchback. You mentioned it a little bit ago. I mean, that was a huge momentum changer. It had been talked about how Texas Tech's red zone offense is one of the worst in the country. It had been talked about that Oregon's red zone defense ranked very low as well.
No kidding.
It was one of those, when it got to that moment, I said to Patrick, I said to sales bro Kurt, sales manager Sam, we were all out here. I was saying, this is something's got to give moment here.
Yeah.
And for Finney to step up and make that pick, huge play.
Man, and the first one too. I mean, he did what he's done all season. That was vintage Brandon Finney, if we can say that, after just 13 games in the Oregon Ducks program. He read the quarterback, he beat the receiver in coverage, and he just knew where the ball was going. And frankly, that is what you've seen from Oregon's defensive backs all season when they're on. On top of that, you talk about giving it to the unit too. Bryce Betcher and Dylan Thieneman combining for near 25 tackles. So many tackles for loss. They hurried the hell out of that quarterback. That's one thing I've really wanted to see Oregon's defense do.
Get after it.
At a little bit higher clip than they have this season. And that relentless pursuit that we hear about from Anthony Newman, head football coach at West Lynn, it's something that Oregon did so well today, on top of causing turnovers.
Yes, 100%. Brandon Finney, your player of the game, your Mountaintop Metal Roofing player of the game. Do it once, do it right. Mountaintop Metal Roofing. Going to take a quick break. Let's get to some player interviews. We've got some audio cuts of some of the player thoughts. We'll get to Dan Lanning's thoughts, as well as he talked to Dusty after the game. Got a lot more left to get to about this game. Your thoughts on the text line, on the YouTube chat. Appreciate you listening in. Appreciate you watching, and appreciate Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar for having us.
Absolutely.
And just taking care of everything today. This place was lively. They worked hard, especially after a quick turnaround from New Year's Eve. You've got to come right in and open the place at 8 a.m., 8:30.
And they still have the Christmas lights up, too. As a holiday fiend, I love that.
you're still in the Christmas mood, huh?
Bro, I'm going to watch Christmas Vacation at least 2 more times, all right, before I put it away for the year.
Well, let's put it away for this segment. Kick it over to Brandon for a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks postgame forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with some more light rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
The Oregon Ducks live on the Fan.
Gonna keep it, run right. Oh, no doubt.
It's a fake punt. It works. Tuioti, first down inside the 45-yard line. And that was more of a shot put than a pass from James Ferguson Reynolds.
I thought the same thing, too.
James Ferguson Reynolds started to run to his right the way a soccer-style kicker will. And then he just kind of launched a shot put pass over the top.
Dick Hanna Dealerships presents the Postgame Scoreboard Show on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
Welcome back to the Dick Hanna Dealership Postgame Scoreboard Show. Thanks for listening in on 105.1 The Fan, 1080 The Fan, and the Fan Sports Network. Let's get to some player interviews.
Hell yeah.
I kind of want to do the tease the Dan Lanning interview a little bit longer.
Okay.
Let's get to, and it's not very long. Brandon doing some great production work back there. Let me know how long the interviews are as well.
Appreciate you, Brandon.
So let's get to, let's go Bryce Betcher first. It's a quick one, but let's get Bryce Betcher's thoughts on this victory today.
Down here with Bryce Betcher. Bryce, 12 tackles today. The defense pitches a shutout. Yeah. What's it mean to you to get this win and punch your ticket to the semifinals?
It's special, man. This group is relentless. We showed out on defense today, and a big one next week.
What was the rallying cry from you guys as you guys continued on that game with the stifling run defense and getting to the quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, it starts in practice. We prep really, really well, and then just comes down to our relentlessness, and we showed that tonight.
I'm going to go let you celebrate. You got a stage to go get on, man. Congratulations, and we'll see you in Atlanta.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, pure chaos down there.
It looked fun. I love these bowl celebrations, man.
Definitely living vicariously through one Dusty Hera. Let's go to Tatum Tuioti. What a game he had. Just relentless. That guy does not stop. He was amazing in the performance. Tatum Tuioti and his thoughts on the win.
Down here with a guy who had a bunch of tackles, but a couple of sacks in big moments. Tatum Tuioti. Tatum, the defensive line had a big ask of them today against this Texas Tech offense. What was it about the kind of preparation that you guys put in that led to the success today?
Yeah, it's just thanks to our coaches, man. They made sure that we were prepared this week, and it's thanks to our teammates, man. We play for each other, and that's why we came out victorious.
Quarterfinal, Coach Lanning said, not done yet. He said it up on the podium. He said it when you guys dumped Gatorade all over him. What has been the messaging and kind of that mantra all season long that you guys have had that collectiveness?
Yeah, the job's not finished. We know that we want more. Just understanding that we got to go to the doctor. We can celebrate now, but we got to go to the doctor when we get back and continue to sew up our mistakes and continue to play hard, man.
Creating turnovers and getting the ball back for your offense was huge, and a true freshman gets a defensive player of the game today. It's pretty impressive. What have you seen in the growth of Brandon Finney Jr. Out on the corner in the back end of your defense?
Yeah, man, he's elite, man. As a freshman, you don't see people like that anywhere. So, man, he's elite. He's going to be great in the future as well.
One of the guys that picked up a sack as well was Blake Purchase. I saw you were one of the most excited people for Blake when he ended up getting to the quarterback. What does it mean to you to see the success of everybody, whether it was a party in that backfield today with Mateo getting one, you got two, Blake gets another?
Yeah, man, just like I said, it's about connection, man. Our group is different. We love each other, man. We do everything for each other. We play hard for each other, and that's what's so amazing about our group, man.
One more week guaranteed for you guys to play together, and one more week guaranteed to be with your dad on the football field. What has that been like for you to kind of to take all this in and keep earning these opportunities?
Yeah, no, it's a blessing, man. Just being able to play with my brothers one more time is amazing. To be able to play with my dad one more time is amazing. So we're just excited about today and the outcome that happened.
Well, you can say something that no other Oregon Duck has ever been able to say. Orange Bowl champs, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Tatum Tuioti there for the Oregon Ducks. And let's just get an offensive player in here as well. Not the greatest performance offensively, but enough to get the job done, kick some field goals, score some touchdowns, and a couple of those touchdowns coming from Jordan Davison.
Jordan, 42 yards and a touchdown tonight in the Orange Bowl. Yards were hard to come by. How good did it feel to finally punch through and get that final touchdown?
It felt good. Our team, our defense, offense, we all contributed, and it felt good to finally actually finish a drive and punch it in.
What was the kind of the rallying cry that you guys had on the sidelines? You were moving the ball very effectively, but weren't getting many points out of it. What was the mantra from the offense on the sidelines?
We was executing, but we was just hurting ourselves, just killing ourselves on drives and just not finishing drives. So the main message was just finish drives.
That offensive line, man, they've been great for you guys in the backfield all season long. What do those guys mean to you and to be able to get one more week with them?
They mean everything. I mean, I wouldn't be the player I am without them. I mean, it starts with the O-line. They snap the ball, and then it goes from there. So, I mean, I'm really nothing without the O-line, and I'm just so grateful and blessed to have them on my side.
You got a lot of support here from the Oregon fans. I saw you even signing an orange down here that was thrown your way. The Oregon fans showing out the way that they did, and I know that you guys heard them. How cool is it for you guys to play in front of those fans?
Man, in my opinion, we have the best fans in the world. I mean, there's no other fans like the Oregon fans, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this program and this fan base.
Well, you get to see them in Atlanta. Congratulations on a quarterfinal win, on to the semis.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jordan Davison there, 2 touchdowns for the Oregon Ducks. Yeah,
almost forgotten. Like, honestly, in the stat sheet, man. It's like, oh, yeah, he was the one that scored those 2 tutties.
I hope that fan puts the orange in some sort of glass case so that way it doesn't rot, like, over time. Like,
yeah, you could put it in, like, epoxy. How much would that sell for on eBay? Yeah, you just
signed orange by Jordan Davison.
It's got to be worth $50.
You got to do something to preserve it because that thing is going to rot. It's going to rot quick if they don't do something about it. So take a quick break here. Get right back into the Dick Hannon Dealership post-game scoreboard show. Share more of our thoughts, your thoughts, and Dan Lanning's thoughts coming up here on the Dick Hannon Dealership post-game scoreboard show. But first, Brandon, weather.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks postgame forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with some more light rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch.
Again, Dickey's going to spin. Ball came loose, and Oregon may have it. And they do. fumble. Dickey got the snap or the handoff rather, ran left. Ball popped out. I don't know if he just lost it or if he got hit. He got hit. Betcher knocked it out, and then Finney came up and fell on it. And Oregon's got the ball right back in field position again.
Dick Hanna Dealerships presents the Postgame Scoreboard Show on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
Welcome back to the Dick Hanna Dealership Postgame Scoreboard Show. Joe Fisher, Jordan Schultz hanging out with you for a little bit longer. We need to breeze through some of these segments, man. We got excited in those first few of them.
Got to get a little fast-paced like Oregon's defense today. Goodness gracious.
Yes, exactly. I want to give you a quick update on what is going down on the Rose Bowl. If you are not watching, if you're in the car.
Joe.
Hey. Alabama came back from a 17-0 deficit in the first round of the playoff. They're going to have to do it again, though, because right now at halftime, Indiana 17-0.
Kalen DeBoer does not look too happy.
No, he does not. Indiana, they were able to get a touchdown just a couple minutes before we got to this halftime break to take that 17-0 lead.
Wouldn't be surprised if it goes to overtime at this point. That's the way that these games have been going.
Man, and Dusty is so right about like Kurt Cignetti being the coach that finally breaks the first round team curse.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, damn him.
Like you would, Kurt. It would be you $13 million man, you.
Yeah, no, I mean, Indiana, they're looking like a wagon right now. They're forcing turnovers. Really can't seem to be stopped offensively. And Alabama offensively able to not do anything as well. So as things are tracking right now, is that Oregon, if things hold up here in the Rose Bowl, we will be getting an Oregon-Indiana rematch. Again, unless Alabama has another rabbit they can pull out of their hat to come back from 17 down to tie the largest college football playoff comeback, which was last week against Oklahoma.
Which was
Alabama
insane.
did it. Yeah. But Oklahoma, Indiana, two very different teams. Indiana looking very good at this point.
I don't want Indiana. I do not want to watch Oregon face off against the Hoosiers again.
You don't want that redemption factor?
No. I'd rather Oregon have an easier path to the college football playoff championship.
Well, there's a lot of different redemption, revenge angles you can go here with the Ducks. Like, obviously, the Ohio State one is now gone after that. After that loss to Miami last night, which was the score did not indicate how much Miami dominated that game.
No kidding. Ohio State could do nothing on offense. Nothing.
It was, that was jarring. So, I mean, you have the revenge factor against Indiana, the possible one against Kalen DeBoer, even though right now it's not looking like it. You have the Mario Cristobal revenge factor.
See, that for me, give me that right into my freaking veins. That ruffles my sports skirt straight into the air. Let's go noon to 6 immediately. I want to watch Oregon pound Mario Cristobal.
Or how about a revenge factor with Georgia, the first team that Dan Lanning, as Oregon head coach, played, and it was not pretty. His former coach that he used to run defenses for, Kirby Smart. I mean, there's definitely a revenge factor. That happened 4 years ago.
I mean, by that factor, they need to beat LSU and Auburn still, too. So, like, whatever. I see the angle, but to me, and I hope other Oregon fans agree, like, you don't want to kick the stuffing out of Mario, don't you? I do.
It would be nice.
Damn right.
It would be nice. It'd be a waterfowl national championship. You have the ibises of Miami, the Miami Hurricane. Isn't that what their mascot is? An ibis?
I think so.
I believe.
I think big
kind of looking stork.
Whatever the hell it is. Whatever they call it, it's a bird. Yeah.
and then the Oregon Ducks, the Waterfowl Bowl.
The waterfowl.
But Indiana, I want to give you the quick update on that. They're up 17-0 halftime at the Rose Bowl. After this Rose Bowl game, I believe we will have the Sugar Bowl on the Fan.
I think so.
Between Ole Miss and Georgia, wrapping up the second round of the college football playoffs. Let's wrap it up on this segment here. Let's get to that Dan Lanning interview. Let's get the coach's thoughts on this win in the Orange Bowl. 23-0 Oregon Ducks victorious. Do that next, but first we kick it to Brandon with a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks post-game forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with some more light rain. The Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite
left, 2 right, back to throw. Has time. Step throws. His arm was hit. Ball came down. Mateo with the steal. Mateo at the 5. Ball comes out. He gets it back. It's Oregon's ball. He stole it from him. I was going to say it was an interception, but he picked that ball away from him.
Dick Hanna Dealerships presents the Postgame Scoreboard Show on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
We're back. Dick Hanna Dealership Postgame Scoreboard Show on 105.1 and 1080. The Fan. We're here at Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. Did you stay up past midnight?
We were out. We went to a dance party last night. I think we were out pretty late until 1:30, 2 o'clock. We were waiting for the Ubers to get cheaper to go home.
I respect it. I respect the hustle, definitely.
Went from 170 down to like 90, and we're like, okay, we'll take the 90. Happy New Year to us.
Maybe if we walk a few blocks this way.
We tried that too. Yeah. We really did. But hey, we did not drink and drive. That's the important part.
Good. So. I hope all of you had a great New Year's, got home safe. When I was at 10:45, I'm like, boy, we need to get there. We need to.
Were you an early guy?
I did not go to bed early, but man, I was when we were at that point. I was like, I'm ready to go. I was like, we need to get to midnight. We need to wrap this up here.
Just East Coast New Year's it, bro. 9 p.m. and then hit the sack.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Probably should have done that for the kids. Exactly. Yeah. Let's hear Dan Lanning's thoughts here on the Dick Hanna postgame scoreboard show about the victory. Ducks 23-0. What a win.
Coach Lanning, you got the Gatorade bath, but you had a message to your team when that Gatorade hit your body. What was it?
Not done yet. Not done yet. We got more work to do.
Not done yet. Your defense pitches a shutout in the Orange Bowl against an offense that averages over 40 points a game. What was it about that crew that came out today so fired up and motivated?
Man, they just wanted to play the next play. These guys worked really, really hard, and they said, let's focus on the next play one moment at a time. There were some highs and lows in that game, and they just kept chopping.
Creating opportunities and turnovers. It was an impressive day for Brandon Finney Jr. and the entirety of the defense. What did you see from number 4?
Yeah, just the same performance I see in practice, man. These guys worked so hard to earn it. They earned it today.
Offensively, they just kept chopping away, as you always say. Quarterback Dante Moore, he looked cool, calm, cool, and composed, but the offensive line did a good job protecting him.
Yeah, did an unbelievable job, man. Really proud of those guys, right? Really out-physical there in the fourth quarter, what needed to show up and got the tough yards when we needed it most.
What does this mean about your team or say about your team? They play so well on the road.
Yeah, we ain't done. We're good at traveling, right? We don't mind flying across the country to take care of business.
Well, you got a trophy to go get, and I'll let you go get it now. Congratulations, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Dan Lanning, head coach of the Oregon Ducks, after the 23-0 victory. I will say, I'm glad that he said just keep chopping. That's one of my favorite sports analogies. Keep chopping at the tree.
That's a new thing. That's what the kids say.
Keep chopping at the tree, man. Just keep chopping away. And that's what the Oregon Ducks did here today on their way to a 23-0 victory, shutting out Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl on their way to the Peach Bowl. Oranges, peaches, whatever citrus fruit, doesn't matter.
I'll eat them.
Oregon Ducks, 23-0. Take a quick break, and we'll get right back into it with some more of our thoughts, your thoughts on this Ducks victory as they advance to the college football playoff semifinals. First, Brandon, with a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks post-game forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with some more light rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
The firm of Harris and Meringue, now weekdays 10 to 1.
I don't wear white almost ever. One, because I'm a large man, and that's just a lot of white. Two, I'm a mess.
Yeah, I
and
know.
I will get it dirty.
It's shocking that this table in here is white and still very clean.
I don't know how clean it actually is.
snap. Kick on the way. Almost long enough. He got it. Just over the crossbar. 50 yards on the field goal by Annika Sappington.
Dick Hanna Dealerships presents the Postgame Scoreboard Show on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
We're back in here on the Dick Hanna Dealership Postgame Scoreboard Show, recapping this Oregon Ducks victory 23-0. We've been talking about different aspects of this game, but I mean, let's bring it back to what we started with, man. I mean, just this defense. I can't think of a defensive performance like this from the Ducks. I mean, there's so many superlatives about this. Haven't done this against an AP team in this long, haven't done this on the road in this long. There's just so many different things you can look at that really speaks about how historical a defensive performance is like this. You had some good ones, if you don't mind reading those again.
Absolutely, yeah. Oregon finishing off its first shutout of an AP-ranked opponent since 2012. They were playing a top 10 team today for the 113th time in program history, and for the first time ever, the Ducks allowed 0 points. It's kind of what we were talking about, that raising their program up to new heights, specifically on the defensive end. Now, Joe, I'm not being a pessimist here, but I do want to maybe throw the question out there a little bit about what our own Dusty Hara was talking about, considering Oregon, really showing up today against Texas Tech, and the fact that they couldn't get anything going. Should we put that more on Oregon's defense, or should we consider the fact that Texas Tech beat every opponent that they played, which they won against? I think Arizona State was their only loss, but Barron Morton was out, so starting quarterback down, people don't really count that as much. They won by like 20 plus in each win this season. Their opponent level was not that good. The quality of their opponents was not that elite. I don't think that's just my opinion. You look at their strength of schedule, it ain't that great. And I think some people might be throwing out on social media, all right, so is the Ducks' performance today due to the true success in which they really were focused? I'm not trying to take away from that, Joe, but I guess I am questioning the eliteness of Texas Tech's offense. That they haven't really done it against a great opponent so far this year. Oregon obviously showed up, and I think shutting them out, really makes a statement. But I do wonder, and Dusty Hara did say the same thing, it didn't really change, his mind as far as what Oregon's defense could be. He feels similar to what he thought they could be before. I kind of got maybe a little above my skis on this, and I still think that they could play against the better or the best offenses in the country after today's game, but it's at least worth asking. Is that because of Oregon's dominant defense today, or is it because of Texas Tech for the first time having to face a truly dominant defense this season?
Yeah. I mean, as far as defenses go, I mean, you look at their schedule and who they played. I mean, that has been a point that has been bemoaned for a week and a half now.
Kent State.
Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, exactly. Houston, Kansas. Utah was ranked when they beat them.
Yeah, ended up running away with that in the fourth quarter there.
But literally, their biggest wins, Joe, are against the Mormon schools. Utah and BYU. 2 times against Utah, or BYU, excuse me, and once against Utah. Like all the others, and then the loss to Arizona State. Arizona State didn't have a great year, right? And no quarterback or not, I do wonder, will this defense translate to a rematch against Indiana, which we're looking like as we sit on a 17-0 lead that they have over Alabama as a possible rematch in the Peach Bowl next week? I'm not so sure. I do not want to see Indiana face Oregon again, and that does give me pause.
Yeah, I mean, as far as matchup goes, it's like Alabama obviously looking like the inferior opponent of the two, so I would rather, have the easier road, but there is something about the story and the redemption factor of wanting to face the team that you lost to. You were tied with them, 7.5 minutes left to go in that game. I don't think that 30-20 10-point victory is indicative of how that game went. Yes, Indiana was the better team that day for sure, but again, that was a tied game in the fourth quarter. 7.5 minutes left to go.
Yeah.
Indiana makes a great drive to take the 27-20 lead. They get a pick automatically right after that and able to add the extra 3 points to make it a 10-point game. But just to go back on this Texas Tech defense playing an offense like Oregon's and vice versa, that Texas Tech offense playing a defense like Oregon's. I mean, they really did not play a defense like this. I know offensively they played 2 top 40 offenses all year.
Yeah.
And it was Utah and it was BYU. I mean, on the defensive side, I'll have to maybe look that up on the break as far as what is the top defense they played this year. Because I would, venture to guess that maybe it was BYU.
Probably.
Maybe it was Utah, but I know Utah gave up 1 billion rushing yards towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it was them. Curious. I think it was a matter of, though, that this was a good Texas Tech defense.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very good unit because while there were mistakes on Oregon's end, they did not let the make up for those mistakes. It's like once they put them in a 3rd and 14 or a 3rd and 12, they didn't have many conversions. I mean, on the 3rd down conversions day, I think Oregon was 3 of 15, 4 of 15.
4 of 14 or 15. It was pretty bad. But
4 of 19,
oh,
actually,
wow.
as a matter of
It was a
fact.
bend, not break case for Oregon, for sure.
And 4 of 8 on 4th downs, including that last one that was a touchdown. But
credit to the cojones of Dan Lanning on that one.
Yeah, exactly. He certainly loves his 4th down conversions, that's for sure. Get into more of it here on the Dick Hanna Dealership Postgame Scoreboard Show. Again, we are at Grand Central Bowl Arcade Sports Bar for the Peach Bowl. It is rumored we will be at Thirsty Lion for the Peach Bowl. Pre-game, post-game, still getting worked out. Listen to The Fan all week, 105.1, 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app, podcast, all of it, YouTube, whatever you're doing, to get more details on that as we iron things out and figure that out before next Friday, 4:30, the Peach Bowl, Oregon versus either Indiana or Alabama. Indiana up 17-0 in the Rose Bowl as we speak. Take a quick break. Let's move it over to some betting. We got a half left. Maybe we want to do a live bet on this on the rest of this game.
Let's go.
Or look at the Ole Miss Georgia. But it's time for the Legends Casino Hotel Lock of the Week. We will do that next year on the Dick Hanna Dealership Postgame Scoreboard Show. But kick it over to Brandon with a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. Ducks postgame forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with some more light rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone.
Here's the handoff. Whittington 10, 5, touchdown, no Whittington.
Where our hosts share their picks of the week. Brought to you by Legends Casino Hotel in Toppenish, Washington. Within winning distance. Coors Light presents Ducks Game Day on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
It's time for the Legends Casino Hotel Lock of the Week here. Brought to you by Legends Casino again.
Great spot.
Yeah. I want to find the picks for one Anthony Newman.
Oh, I got them right now.
Yeah, 35-17 is what Dirt said. Anthony Newman, 31-24. I didn't have a score prediction, but hell, 23-0 wouldn't it wouldn't have been that.
No kidding. I think I had like 24-17, something like that. Like Texas Tech was going to score. The defense for both sides was going to be in the game for sure. Maybe, like a score on a turnover, but like I did not see Texas Tech getting blanked today.
Well, and while it wasn't put out into the internet ether as far as my score prediction goes, I was listening to the Orange Bowl preview show yesterday with Dirt, Anthony Newman, Jason Sukanik, and as they were given their scores, I was trying to kind of formulate mine. I was kind of more in the 24-14 time frame mind frame for that game, and so but they scored 23. Oregon did.
I mean, you were right there. It's just the lack of production on Texas Tech.
Yeah, it was giving them 2 touchdowns apparently was a mistake on my end. As far as the other games go, Rose Bowl, second half kicking off right now. Indiana leads 17-0. I don't know what the live line is on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the lock that Indiana covers it the rest of the way because they're looking like a wagon right now against Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
I'd be interested to see. So you're thinking even if it's like a 20, you're fine with that? Because I do think Alabama is going to score probably here in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, I hope Alabama fans agree with you because they need to do something.
I don't think they're going to win.
Alabama does start with the ball. They have 93 total yards in the first half as they are about to hike the ball to get the second half started here.
20.5 is the live line right now.
20.5 is the live line for Alabama, Indiana here on the Rose Bowl. And then the last game of the night is the Sugar Bowl. A very SEC matchup because obviously the opponents, Ole Miss and Georgia.
No kidding. That's how they want it, though, right?
But it's in New Orleans as well at the Superdome down there.
It's not an away game for anybody.
No, there's going to be they're going to fill that stadium, that's for sure.
No
Much
kidding.
more than the Hard Rock Stadium. There was definitely some empty seats in there.
Yeah, I heard Jerry Allen say they announced a sellout today for the Orange Bowl, but you could see, especially in the end zones, there were a lot of seats
in
available.
those higher seats as well, those nosebleed sections there. There was definitely some open seats. I think it was like get-in price was like $40 as of a couple days ago.
Man, that's crazy. As a diehard sports fan, like we had to pay a pretty penny, my wife and I did, to go to the Mariners, first round playoff series this year. Yeah. As a college football fan, like you can do the same thing that includes a flight and a hotel room, like the ticket being $50. Go Ducks. Like, try to travel best you can.
Yeah.
Like, that is an opportunity you will not see very often.
Yeah, we'll see what the travel arrangements, prices, costs, and everything look like for this Peach Bowl game as we get into the Final Four. But
tonight, I'm going on the under, by the way, 54.5 for Georgia Ole Miss. I just don't think there's going to be that many points scored.
Man, I will tell you, I am intrigued as hell about what this Ole Miss offense is going to look like because all eyes were on the Egg Bowl when everybody was curious as far as what was going to happen with Lane Kiffin, and that offense showed up. It showed up against Tulane, their first game without Lane Kiffin. They still do have Charlie Weiss Jr. calling plays for that offense. What is the line right now? I know it was around like kind of 6.5-ish for Georgia and Ole Miss.
It's still there
right now. I'm scrolling.
Up to wait.
Been bid up, bid down.
6.5. Yeah, it looks like it had been moving because I saw it's flashed 7, and then when it updated 6.5. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's say that Ole Miss covers.
Okay.
But Georgia still gets the win.
Okay.
You know what? Just for the sake of fun, a shootout. Give me points. Give me them going over on the points as well.
I just don't. The college football playoffs have been, at least outside of like one game, very defensive efforts. So I just don't think. And Georgia's been, as you said during the break, been holding their opponents very few points. I think under 20 over their last 4 is what you said. So I just don't think there are going to be a lot of points today.
Perfect time to zag though. When everyone's zigging, defensive performances, it's time for like a 45-41, just absolute shootout.
Absolutely, you're gonna be right, and I'm gonna hate it.
Honestly, I hope, man. I just want it to be a good game. I want Ole Miss to go down with a fight after what they've been through over the last few days. Hell, I want them to win. That'd be great. That'd be a great story if they ended up beating Georgia. But yeah, I'm gonna say that Ole Miss covers, the over hits, but Georgia is victorious and will advance to take on Miami. Georgia-Miami. Florida-Georgia line for you country fans out there.
Crush Mario. I want an Oregon-Miami rematch.
And that will be the Fiesta Bowl next week, and the Peach Bowl are your semifinal matchups.
Yes, sir.
Take a break. The Lock of the Week is brought to you by Legends Casino Hotel in Toppenish. Legends Casino Hotel within winning distance. Online at legendscasino.com. We will come right back, give more thoughts on this game, read some of your thoughts. If you're still out there, you can text in 503-864 or jump on the YouTube chat. We will get back to more of this Oregon Ducks victory, 23-0 over Texas Tech on the Dick Handed Dealerships post-game scoreboard show. But first, Brandon with a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks post-game forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with some more light rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks in Portland. KRSK Portland. KRSK FM HD1, Malala, Oregon.
And they're ready to go on fourth down. Snap and back to throw. Want a quick throw, but a sack in a hurry. Blake Purchase came out of nowhere, and Morton is down and slow getting up, and he's not up yet. My, oh my. They went on a quick count, tried to hurry and get a 4th and 4, and Blake Purchase with a hit of the game.
Dick Handed Dealerships presents the post-game scoreboard show on the Fan Sports Network. 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
Welcome back into the Dick Handed Dealerships post-game scoreboard show here on 105.1 The Fan and 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app, and YouTube. Appreciate everybody tuning in to this. Maybe you're at home watching the Rose Bowl like we are right now here at Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar. Indiana up 17-0. 8.5-ish minutes left to go in the third quarter. They are about at the Alabama 30-yard line. But let's get into this game. The Ducks win 23-0. Let's read off some individual statistics, shall we?
Yeah.
Dante Moore, 26 of 33, only 7 incompletions all game long, 234, 1 incompletion. Oh, yeah, I guess this is also on the depth chart for passes. Ferguson Reynolds, the punter, 1 for 1 for 11 yards on the fake punt.
Did you feel that coming? The way that Lanning was giving instructions, like it almost, you could just feel like, oh, something's happening here.
What was interesting about that, though, is I noted mentally while watching the game that the punt before that, they sold out. They sent everybody. Like, they had 4 to 6 guys on the defensive line that tried to go and punt that, and that's just good coaching where either the special teams coach or Dan recognizes that. It's like, dude, they are sending everybody. Like,
soft toss.
Yes, exactly. And that's exactly what happened with that is there was 4 guys that were in the backfield already, and then you saw 3 Oregon offensive linemen. And was that Tuioti who got the catch on that?
I think so. Yes, it was Tuioti.
Because he absolutely bowled some guy over at the end as well.
Easy first down.
So, yeah, Tuioti registering the catch. You also had ton of other guys get receptions in this game. Malik Benson, 5 for 51.
Jamari
Johnson, man, he has come on late this season and looked really good. 4 for 66.
That entire first drive was basically him.
Yeah, right. Kenyon Sadiq, 4 for 22. DeCorian Moore, 3 for 21. De'Aaron Hill Jr., 3 for 3. Jeremiah McClellan, 2 for 13. Noah Whittington, 2 for 10. Jaden Lamar had that one big catch.
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere. It's like, dude, I haven't seen you since the Northwestern game, I feel like.
Really nice to see him getting that same kind of action that De'Aaron Hill Jr. has. And I heard Dusty talking about at the end of the game, getting him some snaps, getting used to that physicality. It just gives Oregon another weapon on offense for these, hopefully, final 2 games of the season, Joe. They are healthy, and they're actually getting guys back. So it's a big deal.
Lamar, he had the touchdown last week on the blocked punt that he from Blake Purchase. That he scooped up and scored on, and then makes a big reception in this one. Jordan Davison, 1 catch for 14. Again, Tuioti, 1 for 11. Gary Bryant Jr. getting the catch for 7 yards. On the rushing side of things, team total 64 yards. 47 rushes.
One of their worst of the season.
Yeah, 1.4 yards per carry.
But
I
it's
see
okay.
on here a team carry for 1 for negative 13. Dante Moore had a lot of sacks, tackle for losses. 10 for negative 12, which please, college, change that so that way sacks don't count against your rushing yards.
We got to stop that. It's weird.
Jay Lamar, 3 for 3 reception or on rushes and yards. 5 for 13 for De'Aaron Hill Jr. Noah Whittington, 13 for 31. And Jordan Davison, 15 carries, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns. The first one coming after that Mateo Uyunglele fumble, that strip sack that he had. That was my favorite play of the game, because the fact that he just got to him and his yoink takes it right from him and then gets 2 guys off of him and brings it all the way down to the 5-yard line. It's like, I know Oregon had trouble offensively moving the ball once you got closer into Texas Tech territory, but once I was like, all right, you guys, if you can't score from the 5-yard line with 3 plays, then we got some problems, and they did it immediately after that.
That was literally the one thing that gave them the ability to score, was just getting them set up so close to the end zone without a drive beforehand. So yeah, credit to Tuioti on that one for sure. That was a huge play and a big turning point.
Definitely want to show love to the defensive side of the ball, as we've been doing all game long, but individually, you had 12 tackles each for the, what is it, the CCU, the Caucasian Collision Unit?
I think so, yeah. Is that what they call it? Yeah.
Which I saw some guy here with that shirt on.
Yes, I missed that. That is so cool.
12 tackles each for them, 6 solos for them, TFL for Dylan Thieneman. Brandon Finney, player of the game, 6 total tackles, 4 solo, 2 interceptions, and a fumble recovery. You had a fumble force from Bryce Betcher. Forgot to mention that earlier on in the game. That was the one that was recovered by Finney. And then the fumble force by Mateo Uyunglele, the one that he forced and recovered himself because he just took it right out of the arms of Baron Morton.
Yeah.
You also had 6 solo tackles by Tatum Tuioti today, 2 of those being sacks. He was an animal today out there.
This was the best performance individually that we've seen from everybody on defense too, not just as a unit.
Mixon had a great game as well. 2 pass breakups. I mean, him in coverage. He's one of the. Obviously, we are very fixated on Oregon. We're watching a lot of their games, what they're doing. But I mean, I would love to know the national guys that are watching this, all these different teams, how he stacks up as far as coverage linebackers go, because he is impressive out there. You also had a couple tackles out there from Aaron Flowers. Mateo had a couple. Jaden Kennedy, he had a great tackle. I think that was on 4th down where he was able to blow up a guy, set the edge, and get the tackle that ended the drive. Just, again, there's so many great efforts individually, but just as an overall unit, the Ducks defense is just the player unit, the moment of the game, the story of the game, really.
Yep, and Amari Washington with no tackles plugged all the right holes up on the defensive side of the ball because Texas Tech wasn't running the ball well either, man. It was a lot of hurries and a lot of questions on the run that Baron Morton had to try to answer, and they had none.
Let's take our last break and wrap things up here on the Dick Hanna Dealership post-game scoreboard show. I'll tell you what, man, these are the type of games where you could do a post-game show for 5-6 hours and just keep talking about it.
Just keep going.
It was that type of game. It was that type of environment. It was a great environment here at Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar. I mean, it's almost funny, there's people here. Yeah. Definitely not as much as there was for game time.
Of course.
But just, the contrast from how lively and crazy this place was. Aughts and light, basically, is what it was here today. And then we got a few Duck fans that are still here watching the Rose Bowl game, enjoying their New Year's Day. Again, Thirsty Lion right now, the location, as far as I know, that will be for the Peach Bowl. Keep listening to the fan all week to get more details for that, as far as if we're doing the pregame show, the postgame show, everything at Thirsty Lion over by Washington Square.
Heck yeah.
Next week on Friday for the 4:30 kickoff for the Ducks Peach Bowl game. Last segment coming up. Wrap things up here on the Dick Hanna Dealership post-game scoreboard show, but kick it over to Brandon one last time for a weather update.
40 degrees in Portland. The Ducks post-game forecast calls for a high of 52 tomorrow with some more light rain. Ducks game day traffic and weather brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now
formation. Dante under center. Davison in front of Lamar. Now it shifts over. Snap. Give it to, did Davison go? Did it get in? He did! Jordan Davison. The exclamation point on the Orange Bowl as Oregon makes it undeniably their ball game and will advance and live to play another day. Just a terrific performance on both sides of the ball here today at the Orange Bowl.
Dick Hanna Dealerships presents the Postgame Scoreboard Show on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1, 1080, and the Odyssey app.
Last segment here, wrapping things up on the Dick Hanna Dealership Postgame Scoreboard Show. Thank you all for tuning in, listening in on 105.1 The Fan, 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app, YouTube, however you consumed our content today, however you consume your content all the time. We appreciate you listening. We are watching the Rose Bowl right now. 5 minutes left to go. That is not Tyson. Is that Tyson? That is not Ty Simpson, that quarterback.
No, that is not Ty Simpson.
Simpson got hurt.
Simpson got hurt.
Mack is the backup quarterback.
Oh, Kalen DeBoer. Did I say he looked pissed at halftime? Now he looks livid.
Not only that, it's 24-0 Indiana.
Yeah, it ain't good. Oregon's going to be in a rematch, most likely against Indiana in the Peach Bowl next week.
Yeah, it would
I
take
do not like that.
It would take a miracle for this game to flip on a dime, and Alabama, for the second straight game, having to pull off the biggest comeback in college football playoff history.
Yeah, not so sure. But let me just say, back to the positive, as a Ducks fan, Joe, I hosted this show on New Year's Day 2025.
Oh, yeah.
When Oregon got their ass whooped in less than 2 minutes by Ohio State. A blink of an eye, y'all get up, you grab a drink, it's over.
Yeah.
It is nice to be sitting here with you. Let's acknowledge that. A year later, 365 days after that horrible letdown, now celebrating Oregon headed to the semifinals.
100%. 100%. Yeah. We got a text on the text line. Shout out from Central Oregon. Longtime season ticket holder. Love the coverage, fellas. And Schultze's cautious yet positive tone.
Appreciate it.
Oregon just looked different. Speed was obvious on both sides. Think Oregon getting to play IU is a big positive. Landon is a master motivator. Heck, he has 2 coordinators leaving, and it appears they were all in as a team. Go Ducks. Yeah, that's a great point. Me and Rashad, we filled in this week on Dirt and Sprague, and I didn't get to it at any point. It was definitely in my head as far as the whole coordinator effect. You got to do you're doing 2 jobs right now. You're recruiting, you're planning for Kentucky, California, whether you're Will Stein or Tosh Lupoy.
Yeah.
This performance, and I think I said it at the very beginning, is that, do I want the Ducks to win the Peach Bowl, win the national championship? Absolutely. But if this is it, if this is their last win of the victory, and we're sending Tosh Lupoy off like this, I mean, hell, man. I mean, granted, if they end up giving up 45 points to Indiana,
dude, this could still be a really crappy send-off. I think you're writing it off before it's actually finished.
Still, man, it's just I think that just the encouraging part is when you have 2 coaches who, again, they're doing 2 different jobs, coaching this team and getting ready for their next coaching gig. And you get this performance out of the defense. You get this from Tosh Lupoy, which coordinators, they're under a microscope all the time.
Yeah.
And Tosh Lupoy, he's not immune to it. Will Stein, definitely not immune to it. To get this performance, 23-0, complete shutout of a top 10 offense in the country, just absolutely amazing. Also, when I went and looked at the defenses that Texas Tech played this year,
not great.
I couldn't find. I mean, BYU was the number 43 ranked defense as far as opponents' yards per game. Arizona State 47.
Oregon State was on their schedule. Remember?
Yeah. I mean, Utah. I don't know where they were at as far as defense goes. Again, they gave up 1 billion rushing yards. They were 57. So as far as playing a defense like Oregon, it's something that Texas Tech hadn't done yet, and they were the story of the day. The story coming into this one was Texas Tech's defense. So Oregon being able to take that story away and say, no, it's our defense. That is the unit you should be recognizing.
Yeah, Dan Lanning got what he wanted. Oregon head coach wanted to change the narrative, and I think people really do see Oregon's defense as elite now. I know Dusty says he doesn't quite feel any different about them, but this kind of performance forces eyes on you. as a college football playoff team. They're going to be showing these highlights on ESPN tonight, and people are going to think differently of the Ducks than they have before. Mark my words, I don't know how this translates against Indiana, but damn it, Joe, I'm excited. The Ducks win, and they're headed to the freaking Peach Bowl in the college football playoff semifinals. It was fun, my friend. Happy New Year.
Yes, likewise. Instead of smelling roses, I smell peaches.
Ooh, that smells good. That's one of my wife's favorite fruit, by
Love
the way.
peach.
So she
Love
loves peaches,
man. Love it, absolutely. Hopefully we'll love it a little bit more in a week. And, hey, shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to all the Ducks fans. Shout out to the Ducks getting the victory today, 23-0. Jordan, appreciate you as always, my man.
Appreciate you. Love you, man. Love you all. Go Duckies.
Brandon, thank you back there in the studio holding things down for us. Happy New Year to you, my man.
Brother.
And Happy New Year to all the Duck fans out there. Enjoy it. Kick your feet up. Drink a glass. Finish the rest of this Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl tonight. And we will catch you all next week for our Peach Bowl post-game show. Tune into the Fan all week for more details on the happenings around the watch party and the Ducks broadcast. But for Jordan Schultz, Brandon Henson, I'm Joe Fisher. We'll catch you next week, Duck fans. Peace.
This has been the Dick Hanna post-game scoreboard.